guys, welcome to this new video. Last week I crossed a milestone I thought I would never cross. I joined and completed my first actual game jam. With that I got to meet so many great people. Everyone in the squad was so talented and I'm really looking forward to working again with everybody else. Looking at the comments under the game jam, there are two links I just have to recommend to all of you. Dongo, who made a lot of great music, and with that I was allowed to also use the songs in my videos, and Shantu, who really nailed it on the art. Normally I would upload every Sunday, but because I want to get this video out as quick as possible, I'll upload this as fast as I can. So I'll be able to show everyone what this game jam was about, and I'll be able to get like the first tutorial scene at the start of the video in the game jam itself, so everybody can see how the game is actually played, because it seemed like for a lot of people it was a little hard to understand the game. So of course I also definitely recommend you to check out the jam submission in the description, give it a rating and check out some of the members in the description. I really recommend you guys checking them out, they're so awesome, and honestly I think every one of our team is so underrated in comparison to the raw skill and talent these guys have. But this introduction lasts too long already, there's a lot to cover, so let's dive right into it. Guys, look at my screen real quick. Are you guys ready? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Well,
1 sec. I'm looking now. Go ahead.
Kaboo! Kaboo!
We may want to fix that.
Kaboo! Where are these kitties?
What did you do, Dan? Did you break it already?
Day 1 was the day we got our team. We had to make a game around the team out of control. We started with a lot of brainstorming. It became a back and forth war zone. It became really clear, really quick, that everyone was ready to go and everybody was really motivated to get the game together. 6 hours later, we finally came up with a concept and main mechanic. And so it began. It was a really rough road, that I can assure you. I'm going to tell you all about how it went and how we got the result, but you should definitely know that this wasn't all flowers and love. At the development side of things, it was an actual war. Yelling at each other, shouting at each other every hour. It became every minute more clear that there was so much responsibility resting on our shoulders. Every minor collaboration mistake or anything could have so great consequences. No idea was perfect, well everything had to be perfect. This war finally ended. 2 hours after the jam. It was that big of a deal. I started off getting a start area going. Together with that I made a simple character movement and also simple touches to the water spray mechanic. At the first the water spray mechanic actually had a spawn delay based on the distance between the player and the place you clicked. But we ended up removing it because it felt much better without delay. For day 1 things were getting really late for me when development actually started, so I had relied on my colleague Zion to actually get the cat AI first because I needed that to continue my work. Day 2 I started early. Due to amounts of energy drinks I drank during the night, I ended up sleeping really bad and ended up sleeping for 4 horrible hours. When I finally got back to my screen, the first version of the AI was done and I could start on the main mechanics of the game. Development went really smooth and I was getting a lot of things done. I started off tweaking the script of my partner a little to make it so I could implement my features. After that I started on our pause menu, but due to the time constraint we ended up actually not saying anything about it. It is still there in the actual game when you press escape, but it's not featured anywhere, so no one actually knows about it. After that I made a simple trap system which will be replaced later. There is still a lot of feedback, criticism, but we will never know if it was the right call to do or not. After that I worked on the end shot of the game, but as I was really tired I couldn't keep up the pace. I went back to get some rest, and 2 hours later I continued when the rest of the gang woke up. We started working on combining the main mechanics with the AI, and after that we got that done too. Now it was time for me to work out the water mechanic some more, and it was time to implement the catnip bomb, which would be used to lure in cats. Doing these 2 mechanics I actually learned a lot of new skills and animations, and I'm so hyped to use them in my future project. A hard part was definitely implementing the bomb, as there were a lot of new skills I had to learn, like using arrays when I've never been good at arrays, that have been my strong suits, and that clearly reflected in the time I needed to create a simple code. A dummy map was finally implemented and I could start working on the camera and getting some better movement. After that I spent some more time struggling with the bomb and playtesting. The dummy map got removed again. It was not needed at the time, so we could continue our work, and a new map was going to drop soon. Meanwhile I continued struggling with the bomb mechanic and getting a final main mechanic to work. I also went through a lot of testing and debugging to get as much bugs fixed as possible. When I woke up I was just dead. I had a huge lack of sleep, but I was driven by motivation, and that motivation was enough to keep me going. Alright guys, last day is going in. I'm really tired, but we're getting there. Oh god. Damn, looking back at that video, I was really messed up. I started off by implementing animations for the main player. After that I took my first real dive into audio, and I didn't do bad. When I finally got the hang of things went much faster. After that I started working on the tutorial scene, but of course I was on a clock, so I had to go really quick. I've done some horrible things to humanity. Yandredev would be proud for the garbage I threw around in the last day. But we did get a nice tutorial and a good scene transition. And in the end, that's all that matters, right? It's a game jam. Due to me not caring about anything anymore, I just yeeted most of the rules out of the window and tried making everything work, no matter the consequences. Now it was time to finally find the end scene. I stalled this for most of the time, but it was definitely one of our main priorities. I ended up spending a lot of time on it, as I made some dumb mistakes, causing some things to just not properly work at first. After that I went back into scene transitions and the tutorial, as there were still some more things I had to do. I also implemented a nice scene animation at the beginning of the game and made the music continue when changing scenes. It had those small things people won't notice, but will make a huge difference compared to when it's not there. The last 2 hours went in and I felt that I didn't have a lot to do, so I looked into making a nice splash screen for when you start the game. Now it was time to get back into the creation of the end scene, as it was still not done. Some more details fixed here and some more fixes there, and we uploaded our game. Our last submit landed 3 minutes before the end, and sadly we had to send it with some bugs. Our scope was a little bit too big for our skill, but we learned so much. If we had to do this game jam again, we would have made it so much better. We learned so much during this big jam. Looking back, there was one thing that really stood out for me: the practice jam. Without those jam, we wouldn't have been able to made it. I can assure that to everyone. The experience we gained through that is the reason we had this success. I'm 100% sure. Also, a lot of perseverance from the development team. Throughout the 48 hours, we almost had no fun at all. We have felt so much responsibility to get things right that we just didn't want to let anyone down. So there was actually not a lot of time to actually have fun. But alright, this is the end of the video. I'm so happy you guys made it this far, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. I definitely recommend all of you to check out the description. All the socials of the team are in the description, and I definitely recommend you to check them out. Upcoming weeks will be very busy weeks for me, as I'm planning on joining the Brackies Game Jam too. I'll be entering this jam on my own, and I'll be making a 3D game. I'm not sure if I'm getting too cocky, but whatever. These 2 weeks I'll be learning Blender in 2 weeks. And the week after that I'll be learning 3D game development in 1 week. And the week after I'll be joining in the Brackies Game Jam, where I'll be making a 3D game, my first 3D game, in 1 week. So this is gonna be a nice scheme to do in these next upcoming 4 weeks. And I'm really hyped for it. So if you are interested in that, definitely to subscribe and stay in touch. Also, don't forget to like if you like this video and give me some feedback in the comment sections below. The video featured right now is the video of our 2 practice jams, and it's definitely worth checking out, because I'll be covering a lot about how to get game jams in a short amount of time. Alright, this is the end of the video. Have a nice day everyone, and I hope to see you all next week again. Bye!